Hello friends, welcome back to my Java coding sessions. So today we'll be going to write one Java program that is the most frequently asked interview question in SDET interviews. That is, we need to find the string permutations. So as you can see, I already prepared a class with a main function. So I will be commenting the whole code for your better understanding so that you should be able to easily understand the logic. So we will define the string. We want to find permutations for right here. Okay. Do watch this video till the end so that you should be able to get the logic. So hereby I am just starting writing a commented code. Okay. So we will define the string we want to find permutations for right here. Fine. So let's start with a very simple one, that is ABC. That is one string, that is ABC. Now this variable will store the starting point of our string for our processing. So we will use this to keep track of what part of the string we are currently looking at. So we'll start with int start index equals 0. So this variable will store the ending point of our string. The next one is, so this start index is basically we will use this to keep track of what part of the string we are currently looking at. So we will use this to keep track of what part of the string we are currently looking at. Fine. So now in the next one, I will take a variable which will store the ending point of our string. So it will help us, the variable will, this variable, okay, this variable that is end index, okay. So first I am just putting a comment. So this variable will store the ending point of our string. Fine. So it helps us know what it helps us know. It helps us know where we have looked at the entire string, where we have looked at the entire string. So we'll give int end index equals string dot length. Fine. So what this string dot length will do, this will get the total number of characters in our string. Total number of characters in our string. Fine. Now this is the special function we are about to write that will do all the heavy lifting. So we'll do one thing, we'll just implement a function like, so this function will be a special function basically, that is print permutations, okay, and we call it with our string the starting point and the endpoint. So we'll call with our string start index and end index. Fine. So let's implement this. So you can assume, for now I'm just making it as public. So you can assume this magic function that will actually find and print the permutations. So it needs the string we are working with, a starting index and an ending index. Okay, so now I will just start with this. So first I will discuss about our base case, the condition that are recursion to stop. So if the starting index is the same as the ending index, meaning we have processed all the characters. So we have found a complete permutation. So we just print it out. So think of it like reaching the end of the puzzle, then you know that it's complete. So for this we'll give just one condition: if start index equals end index. So in that case, just print str, means print the string because it's now a full permutation. Okay, print the string because it's now full permutation. So we have basically found a complete permutation here. So we'll just print it out. Okay, because so we will consider this is our base case, because the condition that tells our recursion to stop, and if the starting index is the same as the ending index, meaning we have just processed already all the characters. Okay, now we'll give one else condition. Okay, else condition. So what this else condition says? This else condition says if we haven't reached the end, we need to do more work, that is more recursion. Okay, so what this else says, if we haven't reached the end, so we need to do more work, that is recursion. Fine. So this loop goes through each character from the current start index up to the end of the string. Why? Because we want to try each of these characters in the start index position. So for ABC, we basically starts with index 0. Okay, so what I am saying, for ABC with start index equals 0. Now, if I say I is equal to 0, then if I say I equals 0, so what we are doing, we are basically just saying try A at index 0. Okay, if I say I is equal to 1, so basically I am saying try B at index 0. Okay, if I say I is equal to 2, so in that case I am saying try C at index 0. Okay, now I will just go with one for loop and step by step I will explain. So I will just go with one for loop for int I equals start index, I is less than end index, and I plus plus. Okay, so step 1 will be fix a character. What the step 1 is? Fix a character by swapping it to the current start index position. Fine. So we are essentially moving the character at I to the start index position. Fine. So we are essentially moving the character at I. We are essentially moving the character at I to the start index position. For example, if I say if str is equal to abc, okay, I say if str is equal to abc. So in that case, team, start index equals 0 and I is equal to 1. Okay, so that is basically character B. Fine. Fine. So we want to swap A and B to get BAC. What I am saying, we want to swap A and B to get ABC. Sorry, to get BAC. Fine. Now, if I say str, I am just implementing one more method here, swap string start index with I. So this will call our helper, that is swap function. So we will write this soon. Okay. And after that, after this swapping, just okay. So we will just first implement this swap function. So basically, okay. So this is a helper function to swap two characters within a string. So as you all know, strings in Java are immutable, it cannot be changed. So we convert it to a character array. Swap the characters and then convert it back to a new string. So it basically takes the string, the index of the first character to swap and the index of the second. So I will just give here public static string swap. Fine. So basically, string, you can just name it as like this: a, int I and int j. Okay. So basically what this do, now inside this, first convert the string to an array, convert the string which you are getting into an array, okay, array of characters. So we can change individual characters. Fine, so we'll give char array b equals a dot to char array. Fine. Now we will store the character at index I temporarily. We store the character at index I temporarily. Fine. So we'll give char temp equals pi. Fine. Now I will put the character from index j. Okay, let me write this. I will now put the character from index j into index I. Fine. So that is bi is equal to bj. Now we will put the temporarily stored character that is originally from index I. Fine. So that is into index j. So we'll give bj equals temp. So now we will create a new string from the modified character array and just return it. Okay. So now we will create a new string from the modified character array and return it. So we'll give return string dot value of b. Fine. Now we'll go back to our permutations method. Okay. So we just called there our swap method. Okay. So we just implemented it. So what we will do here, we'll just call our helper swap function. Okay. Now in our step 2, we will recursively find permutations. We will recursively find permutations of the remaining part of the string. So we call the same function again, but now our start index moves one position to the right. Why? Because we have fixed the character at the... Okay, let me write for a better understanding. We call the same function again, but now our start index moves one position to the right. So why? Because we have fixed the character at the... Why? Because we have fixed the character at the current start index. So we need to to find permutations. We need to find permutations for the characters from the next position onwards. Okay, for the characters from the next position onwards. Fine. For example, after getting BAC, okay, for example, after getting BAC, we now need to permute AC. From index 1 to 3. Fine. So we'll give print permutations string str index plus 1 and end index. Now in our step 3, backtrack. So this is super important in recursion for permutations. For permutations. So after the recursive call returns, meaning all permutations for that fixed character have been found, and we need to put the string back into its original state before the swap. Why? Because we are about to try another character at the start index position in the next loop iteration. If we don't backtrack, our string will be messed up for the next attempts. For example, after processing BAC, we swap A and B back. We swap A and B back to get ABC again. Fine. So that in the next loop iteration we can swap, so that in the next loop iteration we can swap A and C to get CBA. Fine. So that is basically a string equals swap string start index and I. Okay. So this is basically swap them back. Fine. So now let's run this and see. Okay. Perfect. So you could see there are 6. So if you do just 3 factorial 3, so see 1, 2, 3 into 2, 6, 6 into 1, 6. So you could see we have got 6 permutations of this. Fine. So this was the expected output, what we need. So I hope you enjoyed this session and you really enjoyed the commented code here. So if you really liked it, do like and subscribe my channel and stay tuned for more upcoming Java sessions. Thank you everyone.